Hey people, welcome to the channel, and in this case, reacting to another police video. Now, don't worry, there's no violence here, this is all okay, but I like this one because it's one of those rare videos where you see an interaction where you see where things went wrong. But not only that, this is something that happens all the time. And this is key, this is critical. I mean, you have lots of very cool videos from police cameras and so on. This one may not be cool in that way, but I like that it shows maybe what's most likely to happen, meaning that 90% of the time you can avoid the fight. It's just a matter of people not wanting to. So, before we go on, remember that if you want to learn more about survival preparedness in the way I do it here in the channel in a realistic manner, you have a channel with a ton of information which you can access using the search function from the channel. You also have street survival skills and surviving the economic collapse based on my experience through that in Argentina. Street survival skills will be super helpful for self-defense, security, a lot of the practical tips and stuff, defensive driving, the things you learn in defensive shooting classes, using different tools for self-defense, well, that and a lot more in this book, which I highly recommend. These two will really help you be a lot better prepared without any doubt, especially in the times we're living in and the times to come. I think it's super necessary. One of the things that I do address here, and I think we don't talk about enough, is avoiding the fight, right? So I do explain that you want to be aware, detect danger, potential threats, and all of those things. We just don't talk about it enough. Now, having taken different classes with good or, with all sorts of instructors and people that knew their stuff, usually they insist quite. I mean, even if you took like karate in the mall, right? When you had your sensei, or I never took karate myself, but the typical thing would be like, oh, you just learn this, but you only use it as a last resort. Well, usually when you do a tactical training, defensive shooting, learning to fight with different tools and so on, usually a good instructor will sort of repeat the same thing. Like, guys, don't go around looking for fights. It's always better to avoid them. Now, the even better instructors that I've come across will insist quite a lot on this point of don't go out looking for a fight, because you will find it, and it's always better to avoid it. The even better ones will actually include this in many of the CQC training, the close quarter combat training. They will do the role playing and include some of these scenarios where the answer was, dude, why did you draw your gun? This was not your fight. It doesn't matter how fast you are. It doesn't matter how accurate you are. It doesn't matter if you're the best shooter in the fucking planet. The best solution was not engaging, because that was not it. I mean, that was not your fight. That was a misinterpretation that you made from that. That guy was actually a cop. He was arresting the guy because he's a cop and he was looking for that guy. And in some of the better classes that we did with this sort of thing, these were real events that had happened in which people got hurt, that simply misunderstood what was happening. So you have to insist a lot of this in terms of avoid the fight as much as you can. And in all of my years of knowing cops, guys from the military, some of the tactical guys in the military and in the police, some of the more high-speed, low drag, even the guys that will teach others to de-escalate, to not look for the fight, they kind of have a little bit of the same goes for fighting. If you do any kind of like mixed martial arts, or these guys will usually be a little bit more hot temper, a little bit more, a little bit more something to prove. There's a nice video from the Gracie brothers. So I don't know if it was brothers or anyway, both of the guys in the YouTube video were actually last name Gracie, and one of them was saying that, I've never been in a street fight, and the other one, which was cousin, anyway, same last name, but he was, really, you never been in a street fight? No, I've only fought like in the gym or in competition, right? I never fought on the street. I always avoided the fight in the street. And the other one, obviously, was a lot more involved in street. It is about the personality. It is about the character. It's about the temper. Now, my last piece of advice with all of this is avoid the fight anytime you can. especially avoid having to use these different tools, the stuff I write about, the stuff we show here in the video, in the channel, all of the different options that you have for self-defense. Avoid using that as much as you can. It's really only as a last resort. I try to bring along a lot of empathy in all of these. That's how I try to be, and I think I'm like that a lot. You don't know the person. You don't know who you come across. You don't know if that person is on drugs, if he's drunk, if he's clinically crazy, insane, if he had an awful day. That goes for people you come across on the street. That goes for police officers. That goes for any employee that goes for every single human being. You don't know what that guy's day was like up until that point. That goes for the kid. That kid, he's not that much of a kid, but that goes for the blonde dude here. That goes for the cop. You just don't know. Maybe that cop had a shitty day all day long. And the thin blue line is very debatable. I know great cops. I know cops that are kind of shitty and shouldn't even be cops because they suck at their job. I will be honest and say that most of the cops that I know, most of the guys that I know that have been or are in the military, especially the more high-speed, low-drag, usually they're very competent people doing a difficult job that's not often as appreciated as it should be. But then there's, of course, a lot of bad cops that, and these days, unfortunately, you see a lot of this excessive use of force or just completely uncalled for, just taking their frustrations on people, especially knowing that the union will have their back, which is a huge debate on its own. But you have all of these. You have a very broad spectrum of situations. But always remember, it is another human being. It is a guy that deserves respect. Yes. Can you call a cop a pig and a son of... Yes, you can. It's actually your right to say whatever the hell you want. As far as I know, in most places it is. Now check your local laws. Maybe there's some place where you call a cop out, yeah, screw you, pig, and you get arrested over that. I don't know if that's the case, but make sure you're not breaking. But my advice would be, why are you even doing... I have a right. Okay, you have a right, but... Why? Why are you even doing that? Are you trying to what? Test the guy? It's my right. I'm going to be exercising my right. Okay, sure. I think it's better if you treat people with respect. I've seen videos of excessive use of force by police officers in which they just lost their shit. They just lost their temper on things, on situations that they should have been able to control their emotions even when having a shitty day, you don't know this guy. You don't know if he has a financial problems. You don't know if he's getting a divorce. You don't know if this guy, the cop right here, you don't know if this guy just last night after a long day of work, he came back and found his wife with his best friend in bed. You don't know. Actually, that happens a freaking lot, especially with cops, guys in the military. Divorce rates through the roof. These things happen all the damn time. How are you going to deal with shit? How are you going to be dealing with a little shit like this insulting you or challenge you to a fight? So always remember that this other person in uniform with a gun in his hip is also a human being. Try to de-escalate every single time you can. Having said all of that, and I know I took my time.
On May 4th, 2022, officers responded to an apartment complex regarding a disturbance in the parking lot.
What's up, man?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What car you in?
I ain't in any of these cars.
Let's go. Then you gotta get out. Let's go.
Nah, I don't gotta go nowhere.
You live here?
I don't got, yeah, I live here. You don't got,
Hey, what's
what
your
you walking up on me like that for? What's up?
What's your address?
Take that vest off. Come on.
Take that vest off for
Come on. Take that vest off. Come on. Take that shit off. Let's get it.
All right,
Let's
yeah,
get it,
yeah,
bro. What's up? What's up?
Do me a
Take
favor.
that shit off. Take that shit off. Laugh like you're not a
Do me a favor.
bitch. Like
sit
you're
down.
not a bitch.
Sit down.
Take that shit off. Come on. Not take that shit off. Let's get it.
Where do you live?
I just want to stop. This kid does not even know how to ball his fist. That's how shitty he is at fighting. He does not know the first thing about any kind of fighting, any technique, any specific martial. He does not know the first thing about any kind of fighting. He's just loudmouth, drunk, idiot, some of those. Anyway, let's go on.
Take that shit off. Come on. Not take that shit off. Let's get it.
Where do you live?
Your partner here like he's gonna do something. You ain't gonna do shit.
Where do you live, man?
I live right here. There ain't nothing about
What's
it.
your address?
Do something about it.
Huh?
How about that? Take your shit off and do something about it. You like I won't.
Like you what? Like you want what?
I ain't gonna say nothing on that camera.
What
So
do
I'm
you
saying
do?
take
What
that
do you
off.
do? What do you
Take
do?
it off. You see.
Okay,
Take
take
it off.
out
You
the
see. Yeah.
Let me get your ID.
You ain't gonna get shit.
Okay.
Take it off and you'll see. Well, what you laughing for? I'm writing your shit. Take it off.
Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back. Stop resisting. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back.
I'm a minor.
So why'd you get in my face? Were you gonna hit me? Huh? So why'd you get in my face then? I told you stop balling up your fist, right?
I did.
Okay, so why'd you get in my face? All right, stand up.
Not me too, sir.
Hey, you doing that? Hey, back up. Hey, back up.
Back up, back up.
You doing that? Hey, back up.
Right now.
His boyfriend is really worried about him.
You doing that, bro?
Back up. It's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Roll up on your side. Stand up.
You doing it, bro?
Get back right now. Back up. Back up. I got him right now. Hey, back up. What's up?
Okay, now there's gonna be a lot of people that think, oh, that's excessive use of force. It's gonna be a lot of people, he should have broken his skull. As always, a little bit of common sense, a little bit of, in between. Well, there's a number of things here where it could go either way. Let's take this little by little. I already explained how you need to be compassionate with everyone you come across and be extra patient and understand that everyone's life may not be in an ideal point. But I want to start with this.
What's up, man? What's up? What's up?
So he's pointing the lights low. Some of these videos you will see that they're just blasting with that hot spot in the face. These are tactical lights of one brand or another. Usually it's going to be a lot of lumens. It is the case these days. I would even argue that with a very bright light, you can even suffer some kind of eye damage. So yeah, if you're going to be getting blasted with 10,000 lumens in your face, that is not only not pleasant, that could be leaving something there that you don't want to have in your eyeballs. So the fact that he's pointing to the ground instead of being a complete asshole and pointing to his face already shows that, at least for me, the cop here gets already one cookie, right? A little brownie point here for not being an asshole. And he's responding to what? Disturbance. So they've been what? Shouting, fighting, loud music, causing, whatever it is. Oh, but I have a right to do... Well, yeah, sure. But then the cops get called. And maybe you've been screwing around and neighbors were fed up of your shit. Maybe you had loud music. You were just driving around. Whatever the case is, the cops were called by what? An angry Karen that does not want kids to recite Shakespeare in the parking lot? I don't know. May well be. Really, it could be some crazy neighbor that has nothing better to do. But the guy has to do his job. He's been called. He's going to show up, right?
What car you in?
I ain't in any of these
Let's
cars.
go. Then you got to get out. Let's go.
Nah.
Oh, he's ordering them. Do you no, the cop probably does not have a right to tell, hey, get out of here. Why? I'm here. I'm not doing anything. That neighbor that called you, she's a complete crazy cat lady. We're just here talking with my pals, with my friends. So you see both sides of the argument. It may well be that these young gentlemen here are just doing nothing, or they were just fucking around and bothering everyone. It could be either one, and there's an argument to be made for each one, right? Does the cop has a right to tell you to get out of here? Come on, go on your way, right? He hasn't got a right to do that. Okay.
I don't gotta go nowhere. I live here. I don't got. Yeah, I live here. You don't got.
Okay,
what you want?
Again, still the light in his chest, not in his face. Probably very bright, but still.
You up on me like that for? What's up?
What's your address?
Take that vest off. Come on.
And here's where the threat starts. Take that vest off. Fight me like a man, you bitch. Here's the point. Well, free speech. He has the right to say. Well, does he have the right to threaten with physical violence the cop? I don't know. Let me know where you live. Is that the case? Do you get arrested for threatening a police officer, for challenging to fight? Is it considered a threat? I would say it is. I would say that challenging a cop to fight is the kind of thing that would probably land you in jail in many places. Maybe not. Let me know in the comments. Oh, hey, Fernando, here you can challenge cops to a fist fight all day long and you would not be dragged to jail. Okay. Still, I fall back to what I was saying before. Don't go around looking for trouble. Why? You're being talked to with respect. Hey, officer, no, we're actually here with my friends. We're just about to, we're organizing a party for tonight and maybe one of the neighbors. And we'll try to keep it low. We'll try to not speak this loud. Okay, have a good day. That would have been all. Most likely. Or not. Maybe the cop is just looking. But usually, if you try to avoid these things, I've seen many of these videos where, again, excessive use of force, the cops just got a little bit too heated when delivering a little bit of it is often the case that I see how you could have handled things a little bit less yeah, escalating a little bit less.
Take that vest off for me.
Come on, take that vest off, you know.
That's when he starts like, come on, I'll beat this shit up, right? He's balling his fist right there, and come on.
Come on, take that shit off. Let's get it. Let's get it, bro. What's up? What's up?
He already closed in quite nicely there with his fist like that.
Take that shit off. Take that shit off. Like you're not a bitch. Take that shit off.
And you're getting insulted, which you don't have a right to beat the shit out of him because you were insulted, but you're a human being and you don't like being insulted, which,
Come on,
yeah.
Doc, take that shit off. Let's get it.
Where do you live?
Your partner here like he's gonna do something. You ain't gonna do shit.
Where do you live, man?
I live right here. There ain't nothing about
What's
it.
your address?
Do something about it.
Huh?
How about that? Take your shit off and do something about it. You, like I won't.
Like you what? Like you want what?
You want what, right? It could be that the cop could not say that. Like yeah. What are you saying? You're gonna do what, right? Maybe don't say that. But again, you're the one being insulted by a blonde parking warrior here, and maybe you don't like it. Maybe you don't appreciate that.
On that camera.
What are you gonna do? What
Take
are
that
you
off.
gonna do? What are you
Take it
gonna
off. See.
Okay,
Take it off.
now
See. Yeah.
Let me get your ID.
You ain't gonna get shit.
Give me your ID, right? I would consider that you're gonna do what would not be the thing I would have said. Give me your ID. He's trying to talk about something else and get his ID for,
Okay. Take it off and you see.
and he looks smiling. He looks at, by the way, the cop is considerably bigger than Blonde here. And given that he has no fucking idea how to fight at all, maybe that's not the kind of thing you want to start with, but hey, okay, he has a lot of faith in himself. But the cop looks at his partner like, can you believe this kid? Can you believe this shit? He's smiling, but he's still pissed. He was just called a bitch. No one likes that. You don't have a right to smash him in the face, but it is not nice. Yeah, you have a right to not be nice. You have a right to, yes, First Amendment, call him a pig, a piece of shit, whatever you want. But why are you doing that? Why are you starting shit with a police officer in a parking lot after a long-ass day?
Well, what you laughing for? I'm writing your shit. Take it off.
And that is when he hits the ground. Why? Well, because, and if you think, oh, this is excessive use of force, this is that pig being on a power trip, no. You see, what happened here is that he took that little step, right? He closed in.
Well, what you laughing for? I'm writing your shit. Take it off.
Doesn't matter if it's 1 inch, 1 meter, 1 kilometer, a yard, or a light year, doesn't matter. If it's you're threatening the cop and you also closed in, the closing in aspect, it doesn't matter. It's not about how many inches it was. It's the matter about you closing in on the officer that you were just threatening. That is textbook for getting your ass kicked. You close in, not only were you getting in his face, he doesn't need to tell you to step away, sir. You see that many times. Sir, step away. And you don't do that. Now, in this case, he's already in his face, and he's closing in even more. Yeah, you're going to be thrown down for assaulting a police. Oh, he didn't touch him. Well, he was already threatening him, so he closed in. Let me know what you think. Oh, no, this is completely wrong. He has a right to be at kissing distance. Okay, it's a little bit too much to ask, right? He's already within his immediate personal space, within striking distance. I would argue that the kid is already here within striking distance, and the officer should probably not have gotten this close. He obviously feels zero threat from this kid, which is, it's the kind of thing that could be dangerous, even if you're quite a bit taller and bigger. You know, if you're getting stabbed, you don't know the kid has a gun or something. So usually not the kind of, you want to, hey, don't get any closer. We can speak from this distance. I can hear you well enough, okay? Don't close in on me, man, okay? Stay there. Oh, what, take off the vest. Okay, the minute he does this...
Shit. Okay, take it off and you see. Well, what you laughing for? I'm writing your shit. Take it off.
That little step, he gets thrown to the ground. And there is where he realizes that he's no ninja, that he's not a badass, that he's gonna get his ass kicked. And to the credit of the officer, he did not fully shove him down the pavement to crack his skull or against the car. He actually did a decent job in not getting the kid too hurt. A bit of a scrap there.
Stop resisting. Put your hand on your back. Put your hand behind your back. Stop resisting.
The tone of voice of the officer, he's fed up. He did not like being called a bitch, being insulted, being threatened like that, and right, enough of his shit.
Put your hand there on your back. I'm a minor.
He says he's a minor. He's actually not. He's 20 years old. He's a fucking grown man. Even though he's not as big as the officer, he is a grown man at the age of 20.
So why'd you get in my face? What, you gonna hit me? No, sir. Huh? Please, sir. So why'd you get in my face then? I told you stop balling up your fist, right?
He did not say that, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to be reminded not to ball your fist and close in within striking distance of an officer as you threaten him to a fight.
Okay, so why'd you get in my face? All right, stand up.
Not me too, sir.
Hey, you doing that? Hey, back up. Hey, back up.
Back up, back
What you doing that? Back up.
right now.
The f you doing that, bro?
Back up.
And that's not actually his boyfriend. He's his brother.
No big deal. It's no big deal.
Roll up on your side. Stand up.
What you doing, bro? Stand up.
What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro?
Get back right now. Back up. Back up. I got him. Hey, bro, what's up, bro?
And I got him, man, is actually the father of these two, yeah, future doctors or Supreme Court judges here. The useless father with useless kids that usually you find in places like, well. All right. So, fathers, do your job. Teach your kids well. Avoid having them get maybe their heads stomped or cracked on the pavement. But guys, that's basically it. I think there's a lot here to be learned. I know that probably very few people are stupid as this kid, but we've all been there in terms of, road rage. Oh, well, you saw what he... Yeah, we saw him. He's probably drunk. He's probably asleep. He doesn't know how to drive. He's an idiot. He's violent. You don't know. Avoid the fight every time you can. And always de-escalate whenever possible. And only leave these things as a last resort. A last resort is exactly what it should be. Okay? See you next time. Take care.